Welcome to the Spiritual Development Channel. I'm Nasi Yashiva. Today we got another excellent show. I know it's been a while since you've seen me, and mainly because I've been living off the grid. Completely off the grid. No water, no electricity. Me and my family been out here grinding, building, and it's been a beautiful experience. But I'm back and I'm going to hit you with video after video. And I want to let you know today, this information today is something you will hear nowhere else. You cannot Google it. You won't find it nowhere. In fact, I've been sitting on this for years and shared it to a few of my colleagues. But this is something that's going to answer your question. Today's topic is the garden story, a misogynistic story. Eve got man kicked out of the garden, blamed the woman. I want to start out with the book saying that a boorish man knoweth not, neither does a fool understand this. Meaning that the interpretations of the Bible could not be understood by a foolish individual, one who does not have a spiritual practice or is not aligned with the Creator, the God-filled, that beautiful interconnectedness of a unified force that we're in. Now, in order to interpret this, you have to go through 5 aspects, 5 key principles in the Garden of Eden story. And before we get into that, I want to talk about intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge is not logical data that you examine. It's not empirical data. It is something that you get from being a spiritual being. And they speak about this in the book called the Yorugu. And they speak about how the ancients, the Eastern people or the Africans used to become one, and they were given and granted blessed knowledge. In Western society, this would seem impractical and unbelievable and impossible. But we're talking about to the East, the spiritual birthplace of our existence. So now, in this story, let's go straight into the story. You have the character, the serpent. And I'm going to help you break down the story. The serpent represents DNA or genes. Anytime you see a serpent, it represents DNA or genes most of the time in the story, an ancient story. And you see this in the Babylonian or Sumerian text when you're dealing with Enki. Some of his epithets or his sculptures are serpents because he dealt with human DNA. So in the scriptures, there's no difference. Then you have Eve, of woman, of feminine principle, female DNA or genes. Then you have the mother of all living, which is not a character, but it's a statement. And we're going to hold on to that, but we're going to go into the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, anytime you see a tree usually represents ancestry. You know your family reunions, you have a tree on there, such and such family, and it branches off. It represents lineage, genes. Of knowledge and good and evil, meaning something in these genes are inherited information passed down. Feminine DNA and genes passed down. We almost there. We're getting there. We're getting there. The story is deep. And you have the mother of all living. Now, this will seem rare because Eve is not literally the mother of all living, because you have Adam, you have the animals. How is she the mother of all Cain? But the story is hinting to an allegorical aspect and a deeper parable that underlies it. Eve is the mother of all living because everything that exists in her or in this earth has a female DNA and lineage gene passed down unto them. Now, one thing that you have to realize in this story, Eve took from this tree and she ate. It was good. It was desirable. Now, in this story, it's something that was ingested by a human, and it changed their life. Now, in science, if we know anything about cells, your basic eukaryotic cell has mitochondria DNA. Mitochondria DNA is the alpha proteobacteria that was ingested by early human cells in order to use it for energy. But mitochondria is a DNA, feminine DNA and genes passed down that was ingested by humans. You get where we're going? Now see, how does this describe the death and the fall? Why is Eve described for the fall? I hear all that. It sounds good. I love the information, brother. Mitochondria DNA is the reason why humans die. Mitochondria DNA is passed down from the mother to the children. This is why in the story, though Adam is not her child, she hands it to the man. It can be given from a woman, but not given from a man. Because a man's sperm, though it has mitochondria DNA, its mitochondria DNA self-destructs before it hits the egg. And mitochondria DNA is the reason why we die, based on a theory called apoptosis. Apoptosis means that it is a programmed death. You are programmed to die based off the mitochondria DNA. And there's some theories that even discuss about the mitochondria DNA theory that discusses the miscommunication. Because when the mitochondria DNA comes into the body, it is a foreign substance that has information, knowledge of good and evil passed down. The beautiful, beautiful book. Passed down and ingested inside of the human. And they keep this information, and the genomes that are part of this mitochondria DNA actually eventually grow to become part of the nucleus of the human eukaryotic cell. So during apoptosis, or the aspect of miscommunication from the nucleus in the mitochondria DNA, humans die. So the Bible is speaking of something so scientific that if you're a boorish man or a fool, you cannot understand it. But it's not blaming women for something that they did or was just so wicked or evil. It is basically speaking from a scientific perspective. And there's a psychological perspective breakdown of this Garden of Eden that I will eventually get into later. But thank you for supporting the Spiritual Development channel. Use the information. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit down if you didn't like it. And I want to hear, what do you want to hear from me? I have time on my hands. I've been building, I've been working, I've been studying, I've been grinding, I've been getting closer to the Creator. If you need information, put it under the comments, share this video, and allow it to go viral. Thank you.